So how you guys doing? This is Cigar Lady Annette from the Red Cigar Society. We are here with a very special guest, Allie. She wears many hats, but right now we're going to talk about one, and then we're going to go into the other one afterwards, only because I just found out about that other one. And then I'll share with you some information as well. But so thank you for taking the time out to meet with me and do this lovely interview. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So now tell me a little bit about yourself before cigars.
Ooh, before cigars, you talk about wearing many hats. So before cigars, I'm going to go back to birth real quick.
Okay.
We're going to go back that far. My mother is from Togo in West Africa. And in her country, everybody does everything, including the children. So when she had all of us, and she had my brother came over here, my dad was in the Peace Corps, that's how they met. But when we came over here, she, wanted to work for herself, and everybody in Togo is an entrepreneur. Everybody does everything, including sell stuff. So she started her own business, and at 5, I started working in the flea market. So I've been selling my entire life. I don't know how to do anything else except be in sales. It's a very personable business. So when I was 5, trying to catch thieves and tell them about the jewelry and hand-carved wood art that we used to sell, it was, gosh, I've been working a long time. So that's the before times, way before cigars. I never smoked anything before cigars. And fast forward past birth to when I was a model and an actress.
Hence how beautiful she is. Absolutely. Oh, an actress too, huh?
Yes, more acting than modeling, but one of the agencies I was with hired all the models for Cigar Fest up in Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
So that year, the first time I went was 2013. Ended up going as a t-shirt model, walked around in the high heels and sold t-shirts, and it was, okay, that was interesting. But I did well enough that when I came back the next year, they wanted me to be in the Drew Estate booth. Was like, all right, I don't know what that means because I don't smoke cigars. I don't know anything about this. Give me money, I'll do it, whatever. So that's sort of how I got started in cigars.
Wow. Okay, that's definitely an interesting story. You said so 2013 at Cigar Fest? Wow. What are we 20? Okay. Was I there?
But I didn't smoke my first cigar until 2014. Until I came back that next year for Cigar Fest, which is usually before COVID times. It's always the first weekend of May.
My birthday, I know. Yes.
Did we ever meet at Cigar Fest?
We did not because I only went, not last year, the year before last. I do big parties every year for my birthday because it's like, to me, that's like a holiday. That's like the only day that I know really exists. But usually I'm out of town. So I'm from California. I've only been here 4 years.
Okay.
So yeah, so I've only been here 4 years, and the first 2 years I was trying to get to Cigar Fest, and it just never seemed to work out that way. But I finally got there, which I thought was totally awesome. I probably won't ever go back again because it was just way too many people and just way. I like the tailgate party.
Right, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Guess what? The tailgate's for free.
Right. I'm like, I didn't like standing in line with, for the cigars. I did that at Big Smoke. I'm like, I'm just not doing this again. That's just, even though everybody divided up their tickets, I just, been there, done that. It was like, I just wanted to experience it once. So yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry, off topic. So that's awesome.
It's totally on topic. It's totally on topic. So if, when you went to Cigar Fest, there's a lot of booth babes, which is the term that I heard that term once. And now I'm like, oh, okay. That is the term for the women.
That's funny.
Booth babes.
Booth babes.
Like now that I'm in the cigar industry, that I'm a female cigar smoker, I'm like, I don't know if I'm okay with that anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't think I would be either. It's almost like a groupie, kind of like.
Right. It's that it's sort of still perpetuating that stereotype that women are part of the cigar experience.
Mm-hmm.
Which drives me crazy. But at the same time, if I weren't a booth babe, I wouldn't be here today with Drew Estate. Like, it's a very catch-22.
It was a great start.
a great start.
It was a great start.
You know, and I have so many mixed feelings about, they're my mixed feelings.
Yeah. So when did you, so tell us about your before cigars again. I mean, not, you know, I know we're going to talk about that as well, but you do Leatherworks, which is what I contacted you about because I thought it was pretty awesome. You know, I saw some of the things that you did. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that was actually post cigars. So I started smoking cigars, started riding motorcycles finally, and then started working with leather. So the reason I started working with leather is because I started riding motorcycles. And in that convoluted thought circle, the motorcycle I bought was a 1980 Yamaha that I wanted to restore. And the seat was gnarly. It was ugly. And I thought, you know what? I should just learn how to work with leather so I can upholster my own seat.
Okay.
Because why wouldn't I think that? I'm a.crozier. This is how my brain works.
Right.
So I just started working with leather and I made a seat that I didn't like, never put it on the bike, ended up finding a seat that worked anyway, that wasn't gnarly. But then I got the itch, right? So I've always been a crafty person. What's harder to find on the internet is all the knitting and crocheting that I used to do, any of the woodworking that I've ever done, any of the metalworking that I do. Like, that's harder to find on the internet than my leatherworking, because the leatherworking is more streamlined.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I don't know if you're ready for these things. Different, this is actually for the
for the oval, the round.
It's wet molded, so it actually sits in there nicely. Right, so these are just a lot nicer than the other stuff that I make, but I've always just been a creative person.
Okay, that's awesome. You, believe it or not, we have our stories are almost very similar outside of the cigar babe or booth babe. So I've been working with my mother. I was probably about 9 years old when I started working with my mother. So same thing, I modeled. I did more modeling than I did acting. I started smoking cigars probably almost every day starting around 2006, 2007. But I smoked them like once every blue moon since the 80s. But I do the leather with Mike. I commend you because it's hard work. It's hard work. I'm trying to see if there's any of the pieces that I actually made. Yeah, so I worked with him, learn how to do them, and so I could actually make it if I wanted to. I just don't want to because it's hard work. So great job you do. He'll try to get me to come out to his studio, and I'm like, that's work. That's hard work. And then I ride motorcycles. I've been riding, oh my gosh, since like I was a child. But when I moved here, I sold my motorcycle. Yeah, no, this place is not, it's not motorcycle friendly as far as I'm concerned. So LA was even worse, but LA was just as bad. I'm gonna say out here it's worse because now you got to worry about the deers and the drunk drivers, and out there I just had to worry about the 1,000 cars that were all over the place.
And the potholes around here.
And the potholes. So I sold my bike. I started on sports bikes. I had, when I moved here, I had a Yamaha V-Star. So I sold that, but my plan is to leave Maryland now, to head to Florida and get another bike. Yeah, and get another bike. So
what are you gonna get next?
Actually, I might go back to sports bikes.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't thought about it. The cruisers were cool. They were just kind of boring.
Well, that's the look on your face. It's really funny. You're like, cruisers are cool. Like, you're making a face, which is funny. Like, okay, I get that. So I really, you're forgetting about the forgotten about genre of bikes, the dual sports.
Yeah, the enduros.
Oh, get an enduro. They're so much fun. That's what I really enjoy riding. I actually got my hands, a cigar smoking buddy of mine was getting rid of his. This isn't an enduro. This is like it's a K series BMW from '85.
Oh, wow.
And it's a beautiful bike. Oh, it's gorgeous. I love that bike. It doesn't work right now, but I love fixing bikes just as much as I like having them. I also got a little Honda Grom with knobby tires, and I just ride it around my yard.
I don't know what that is.
It's a tiny bike. It's only like 250 pounds. Tiny little engine, but they're just like made to last. It's adorable. But don't forget about enduros.
Yeah, no. So a friend of mine, he rode sports bikes for a long time. He was in one of the clubs that we were in. He rode sports bikes for a long time. Then he went to Harleys. Then he went to Yamaha. Now he's on the BMW, the Enduro. So he's always camping. And we used to camp. We had a camping trip every year. But now he's camping with his motorcycle. He has mastered.
It's probably the 1200 GSA.
Probably he has the sides and he carries like everything on it. He has a 10. He has, everything you can think of, he fits on that motorcycle.
They make tents with a garage for the bike.
He probably has that too. Yeah.
He probably has that. My ex, which is how I know so much about enduros, my ex and I took his 1200 GSA cross country. I want to say what year was that? 2018 maybe? I think it was like the summer of 2018. We went out from Pennsylvania to Arizona.
Oh, and wow.
Poured up. Yeah. 3 days it took us to, my butt hurts so much.
Yeah.
It was, I've got stories.
I bet.
We got to Scottsdale, Arizona, stayed there for a couple of days, went up through Lake Las Vegas and Utah and Colorado. We had a great time, but GSAs are so much fun.
Wow, yeah. I said if I ever took a long distance, I would have to do like a gold wing. Yeah, I need plush. I need air conditioner, heater, all the plush. So anyway, I saw the little cutter. Show us some of your leather works. So
what I do now, so I don't have a website. I just use Instagram because everything I do is pretty much commission. Unless if I feel inspired to make something, or if somebody asked me to make something, that's why I have it. So the other reason I started leather working, once I realized that I could, being female cigar smokers, there isn't like stuff for us. That is pandering almost. Like, yes, there are women that like leopard print and pink. There are women that like super girly stuff. It ain't me.
Yeah, I'm like, not me.
Right? Not me. But there are women, and I've been talking for years that there should be a Herfa purse or some kind of purse that's also a humidor. And this is what I had that night back when I met you in Maryland, is different purses.
Oh, look at that. Okay, I don't remember seeing that. That's pretty cool.
I think I'd sold a bunch of them. This one is a newer model. This is Mark 20. This is the 20th bag that I made. I do like to stamp them. Just so I know how many I've gotten done. So this is just natural vegetable tan leather. I didn't stain it with anything. So it's patinaing really nicely as I just keep it in my shop. You can actually, maybe you can see the
So now, is it just, can you, it's not really a humidor. It's just kind of to transport your.
Right. So if you're going out, and instead of carrying your purse with your 5-count humidor, with all your accessories, just kind of stuff. What is this, a 10 count? 2, 4, 6, 8. It's a 9 count, sorry. 9 cigars if you really wanted to in there.
That's
with
pretty awesome.
A wallet, and then you can put your accessories in the front or in the back. And I've made so many different ones. I don't think I've taken pictures of all of them. I also have this one's a 13 count. This is a softer leather.
Yeah, that looks nice. Wow.
So this one holds a bunch more, a little bit different style, but kind of the same idea. But I did a double gusset so that you can separate it. So I started doing this style because I test my product. I carried around a purse that was much like this one because my iPad fits in there. So I was for business. So I would sit in my car. I would get all my samples ready. Boop, 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 boop. Put my iPad in there, my notebook, my wallet, everything would be in the purse. So that's all I would carry in to do my shop visits when I was with EPC.
Okay.
Now with Drew Estate, we have a bigger portfolio. So I break out, hang on, the big guns. Ugh. This is what I carry into shops now.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We have variety. lot of variety. So, these two purses, I do like them.
I really like that one. Yeah. I like the soft.
Except for grabs if you want it.
Okay. I'll have to hit you afterwards to,
Yeah, let me know. I mean,
is it green or?
It's green.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's a forest green.
Okay.
And then I do the classic out of the same leather. I just do the simple Zycar. This is a
I remember seeing that, huh?
It's just a La Gloria Cubana cutter. I got it for free when I bought a box.
Oh, okay.
But it's the XI style. They're all the same size. But I do make matching cases.
Very cool.
It's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Having that creative outlet, especially during COVID.
Yes.
Creative outlet. People are like, oh, you're home all the time. What do you do? I'm like, don't you follow me on Instagram? I got hobbies.
So now, I know when I met you, you were with EP Carrillo. How long have you been with, so if you guys didn't know, she's a rep, so a cigar rep. You're with Drew Estates now. And how long have you been with them?
A little over a year, actually.
Okay.
So I've officially been a territory manager for 2 years. The first year was with EP Carrillo, which was a great year. And Ernesto, man, that call was really hard. It was tough to call him and tell him, but he's such a gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really happy for you. If you ever need anything, you can call me. I'm like, Ernesto, you're the man. Thanks so much. Do you want to tell your children? You want to tell Lisette and Ernie? And he was like, I'll tell them. Thank you. So I got hired with Drew Estate a little over a year ago, and that's been going really well. They're also a really fantastic company to work for. I was a little panicked actually because they're the big dogs, right?
Right.
You go from working for a family to working. It's a different sort of family with Drew Estate. We're all really kooky people. So
Izzy.
Mm-hmm.
So I met when I did how I ended up out here. I did a Black owned cigar lounge tour. So I did Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, DMV, Brooklyn, blah blah blah, back in 2015. So I met Izzy in 2015 in Dallas. She was visiting her cousin. Which her cousin picked me up from the airport, and I had just met her on the internet, and so we all went for a smoke. And I mean, I had been following her. She had been following my page. She knew I was doing the tour. And so I met Izzy. So then Izzy, she's from Chicago. The next thing you know, I see Drew Estate Izzy, and I'm like, what is this? First she was doing their alcohol.
Yep.
Yeah, and then now she's the rep, one of the reps. So I was just like, oh, that's too funny. So then when I saw you, I was like, wow. So now you said, what's your territory? Because you said you don't do out here anymore?
No, I don't. I honestly miss Maryland. Maryland used to be part of this territory until Alex Mayer, who I took over for, he did so well getting the territory to move smoothly and just work really well that they actually separated Maryland from the Eastern Pennsylvania territory. I only cover Eastern Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
I go as far out as Chambersburg and State College and the border of New Jersey and New York. So I miss Maryland.
Okay. Yeah. I wonder what's the rep out here.
Well, Sarah Hearton was the rep, but she just got a promotion as well. And now we're actually bringing somebody new in.
Oh, okay.
So my boss was covering the territory up until they bring somebody new in. I have no idea who it is.
Okay.
They're really smart. They don't want to tell us anything because we all talk.
Mm-hmm.
And it will leak. So I'm glad he hasn't told me because I would have ended up telling somebody.
Be like, shh, as it's on this video that I'll be posting tomorrow.
Right, well, and it's no big secret that she got a promotion. For those who are going to watch in the Maryland market, you are getting a new rep. You're getting a new territory manager. They're going to be awesome probably because we hired them. And I feel like we haven't hired anybody that's crap.
So let me tell you, Drew Estates, even if they did not have a rep, it would not matter. So whichever rep they bring is an extra bonus, but Drew Estates alone, really, that's probably the only company that really does not need to, it's like Padron.
I was about to say, Padron
Yeah,
does,
I was
right?
just, yeah, Padron. Outside of Padron, that is really the only company that it is kind of like, it does what it is what it is. You're not, you know, so yeah, you guys are like an extra bonus just so we can, you know, see you. But other than that, you know.
And I appreciate that thought. You know, we hope for that at some point, right? That I'm just going to be another brand ambassador. That's all I really, as a territory manager, you know, I manage my territory, but that includes being an ambassador for the brands, being the face that people can come to. I had somebody reach out to me and they were like, I know I'm not supposed to bother you, but I really have a problem. I was like, who told you you can't talk to me? What's the matter? Let me help.
Probably the last rep.
Maybe, I don't know. It's possible. I love Alex. It's possible. He did business very differently than I do, and he did very different business than Stone did. We're all different.
Yeah, everybody has their own unique style.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Again, he was able to do so well with the territory that they took Maryland away from the territory.
Wow. Okay.
And I had a great year last year, even with what considered a small territory, but it's been a ride. You know, the amount of work that I do have to do, it's just different than it used to be. I'm not driving through 7 states to see, you know, 150 accounts. I see 70 accounts all in one tiny part of a state. It's crazy.
That's and since COVID, how's it really? I know at the beginning, you know, the lounges were shut down and everything, but do you try to do more Zoom visits, or do you actually still go in? Because I don't recall if I've even seen any of the reps.
You wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have. So Drew Estate made an executive decision to keep all of us off the road. So even when lounges were back open and people were hitting the road again, you know, you'll see your General, your Altadis, your brokers, you'll see all of those representatives, but you didn't see Drew Estate reps because we have been forbade from hitting the road.
And that's good. I mean,
honestly, I agree.
Absolutely. I mean, you like what we're doing right now. Let's see. How's your inventory? Let's go over there. I mean, like really. You could set up a Zoom meeting with you know, an event. That's what Tobacco Leaf did, you know, with Drew, and that's what he did with not Drew, Jonathan, and then he did it with Pete. You know, so yeah.
The Zoom event. Zoom is only Facebook friendly, so it doesn't go on to Instagram. I don't know if they're going to ever change that. It would be nice to just stream to both.
Oh yeah, it goes. Yeah.
It only streams to Facebook, and not everybody's on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Should I put it on YouTube? That's more universal, isn't it?
So that's where this goes. This goes on YouTube, and then I'll put like I'll send you a clip of it, which goes on Instagram, and then it says, hey, if you want to see full video, you go to YouTube.
Yeah, I know Zoom does stream to YouTube, so I wonder if that's a problem for another day. But that is what we've been doing, is that we set up Zoom meetings for those of my accounts that can do Zoom meetings. You've been to these cigar lounges.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them are tech friendly.
Yeah.
You barely want to have a phone call. They just want you to show up, hand them cigars, you chill out for a couple hours, and then you be away. Not all of them can do Zoom, which is unfortunate, but I still make the phone calls, I do the emails, I do the text. I'm still in communication with all of my accounts. And I'm doing the Zoom events, the virtual events. I call it the virtual adventures that we have.
All right, well, shoot, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I'm in this video, then I want to ask you a question, but I think that about, so you've been smoking, you said, since 2014, and there's no point of asking you what type of cigars you like to smoke.
Now, to be fair, I like Nicaraguan tobacco, period.
Oh yeah, that's me.
So if it's just, and I don't love a lot of spice, but I love Nicaraguan tobacco, which is almost an oxymoron. Like, how do you not like spice? But there's just so
It's
many.
different. It's a different type of, it's a different type, there's like black pepper and then there's white pepper. So there's
And you get
creamy,
that red pepper
spicy.
retrohale, and it just makes you cry, and it's beautiful.
No, yeah. Yeah, so no, I get it because I'm a total Nicaraguan smoker. Matter of fact, my first cigar was Oliva V, a Milano. Well, no, wasn't a Milano. That didn't come out then. But Oliva V was my first cigar.
Yeah.
That's a full body. So
Yeah.
full body Nicaraguan, but that cigar was so good. It made me so sick. And I was like, oh my God, I love this cigar. I didn't know you had to eat first. This was a long time ago. But yeah, so no, I totally get it. So I used to be a rep for a company in California called Cubarica, Cubarica Tabacalera, and actually for JD Cigars. So a lot of boutique brand cigars, which I said I would never do. If I ever went to go back to being a rep, it would only be for a name brand cigar. So I had looked. When I came out here, I was trying to get with, I think I was trying to get with Oliva. I was trying to get with a couple of other people. I was trying to use my contacts, but it just never seems to work out. So I just went into the travel. But anyway, yeah, so I get it with the Nicaraguan cigars, but I'm all over the place now.
Yeah, you got to smoke it all, and it's funny, people before times would ask me, oh, you only smoke Drew Estate. I'm like, no, I smoke everything. How will I know what the competition tastes like? And I shouldn't even
that. Yes.
Let me say, they're not competition. What do our partners in tobacco, what are they?
Right.
Because we are all in this together.
Absolutely.
I'm not competing against General. They're not competing against us. People like what they like, and we're all providing people with variety. What's wrong with?
Just like I always say, everybody has their own style, so their own personality. You can't expect somebody to think the way you think. It's the same with cigars. It depends on what mood I'm in. It depends on which cigar I'm going to smoke. Lately, I've been smoking the Herrera Esteli. That cigar right there. I don't know. One day I smoked one. I was like, oh my God. And then I do the Liga, but for some reason, the box press ones. I love with the double band with the Drew Estate. I love that cigar. So my guy bought me a box of them, and I've just been smoking them. And he'll bring me home a Liga, which I love Liga, but for some reason that Esteli, the flavor of that one is so much for me, so much better. So yeah, I totally get it.
Habano. The Herrera Habano. It's funny how so many people that are in the know smoke that cigar, and we still have to tell people to smoke that cigar. I have to hand it to people and say,
really?
Smoke.
Oh yeah, no, man. I just probably about last year or a year and a half ago, I pull off my bands, so nobody ever knows what I'm smoking anymore. And I'll tell people, if you want to know, just ask. But I don't put my bands anymore on posting, because I decided unless I'm getting paid, I'm not going to keep advertising for everybody.
Totally fair.
Huh?
That's totally fair.
Yeah, when I used to be in the industry, I would get I would get either paid or free stuff, and I'm like, I'm not going to keep buying the stuff and then advertising for you. So I stopped. I just started pulling the bands off. I smoke them, so I'm supporting, but I'm just not, I just don't advertise them. If I don't have to.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for taking the time out to meet with me. I know we went over a little bit longer than we're supposed to. So I'm gonna have a field day editing all this good stuff out of here. I might just let it just go just natural. Because I'm the worst. I'm like the one-man show here. So I like to just keep everything raw. I don't like to one lady asked me to send out questions. I was like, they're real simple. Because if you thought about it, then it's like you have to rehearse it. And I don't want to. So I appreciate you not asking me what we're going to talk about or whatever, and just kind of go with the flow. So
it's that acting background. You just say, hey, I'm just going to talk. And all right, cool.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. My pleasure. We'll do it again. Try to set up something again. Who knows? Maybe a lady Zoom. Maybe we can get some, or I can pop in on one of you guys. As I missed your one with Izzy and you guys do it every Friday, I think.
No, it's Thirsty Thursday. She's doing one tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, shoot, let's get off this one and not pop in on Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah, let's go drink.
All right. You take care, and I appreciate it. And I'll send you a copy of this when I'm finished with it. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. You take care. All right, guys. That was Allie from she does leather works, also from Drew Estate, but I brought her in because of her leather works, her entrepreneur, and you heard she has been an entrepreneur, really working with her mom since she was about 5 years old. Sister, girl power. Anyway, so thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Red Cigar Society, Cigar Lady Annette. Check me out on Instagram, on Facebook. I'll have Allie's information at the end of this video as well. Follow her on Instagram so you can check out her leather works and find out what she has going on with Drew Estates. All right, take care.